Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to break down Marvel Strike Force's newest blog post here. They're starting off this week with a bang. As you can see, this is ARES, the God of War, actually being featured. We saw him previously in the Dana Binds, but now it's confirmed that his addition in the game is coming. And as well, he's actually going to be a standalone character, kind of similar to what we saw previously back in the Silver Surfer days. And there is going to be a slew of coming changes. So that's what we're going to be breaking down today, guys. In addition to some of the confirmed reworks and the new so-called Annihilator team that actually gives you the full characters as well. So guys, without further ado, let's get started into this blog post. So this is called the Wrath of Mars. Very, very telling, obviously, for this character. But also a big shout out to the Olympus materials that we've already seen in the game for quite some time. I'm wondering now, with Ares specifically being the God of War, if that Olympus extract is going to be specifically tied to him. But he's coming in as an Alliance War Specialist. And as you can see, he has no team allegiances. So that allows him to slot into any kind of team. We haven't seen this kind of plug-and-play aspect in quite some time. So it's going to be really cool to see the theory crafting, but as well, how powerful this character is going to be. Now, for those of you interested in terms of how his unlock is going to be taking place, it does look like he's going to be exclusively available in the Battle Pass starting on July 29th, which is in 2 weeks from now. It's available in both Premium and as well as the Standard Pass, which means free-to-play folks, yes, will have an advantage as well in terms of just getting his unlock. Now, having said that, we're not really sure how many passes it's going to take here, but typically from the past, if we're taking a look at a character that has 100 shards, usually I would expect that to be about 2 to 3 battle passes, depending on the RNG and stuff and so forth. But also, I'm wondering if if he's going to be coming in the way of any kind of power core, or because if that's available, then obviously folks can take advantage. Otherwise, if it's just in the specific battle passes, they may be trying to test this out to see if this is a way to obviously add revenues in this kind of platform, unlocking a character such as this. So definitely be interesting times. Although he's intended for war, I think there's going to be a lot of value in Cosmic Crucible, Arena, Blitz. As you can see, there's going to be a way to actually take advantage of him, I think, in all game modes, given how cool his kit is, and as well, he does some pretty devastating things. Now, having said that, there's also going to be some changes, as you guys can see here, in the new way that base stats and abilities are going to be designed going forward. So they're going to be covering that as well. So right here, the future of character base stats. And I believe this actually took place similarly to when Silver Surfer came out as well. So it's kind of, that's why we're calling it Silver Surfer 2.0, because this a couple years back when this happened, the exact same kind of dynamic took place where we've seen everything kind of get reshaped around in terms of the stats. But right here, guys, so characters and kits and mechanics have grown in length and complexity over the years, starting with Ares, and as well continue the next team, the Annihilators. We're adjusting how we balance the characters. Historically, a character balancing starts with base stats, and we've maintained a tight control over the character base stats since we've launched. Stat values have slowly increased over the years, as with meta creeping, and as well the stats obviously getting updated every time a new character and team comes. Well, because of these tightly controlled base stats, they've been adding more power and complexity. So after taking a hard look here at the complexity of some of the abilities, we knew it was time to enact the change. We've increased our bar for base stats for new characters and reworks going forward. This means that future characters will be powerful and effective with interesting abilities, but will rely more on their stats than the current characters. So that's how they're going to be changing that dynamic. It remains to be seen, though, however, how the past characters are going to be, or maybe the reworks will also be mindful of this new emphasis on the stat increases here, especially their base stats, right? Our new characters are going to have higher HP, damage, armor, etc., but we're going to be reducing the amount of stats that we've been putting into the passives. I do like that because it becomes a slew of information, paragraph long form, and it's really hard to understand sometimes, the intended nature of the character and what they bring to the team, right? So that's really big, I think. And as well, they're updating the power score is more tied to the base stats of a character. So that's definitely something to be mindful of there. Now, Ares, the fearsome Greek god of war, Olympian deity driven by insatiable hunger for battle and conquest. He's going to be an absolute game-changing kind of character. What's really cool as a run-through is I like how they give you the quick little review and overview here, is that when he lands in battle, he is actually known as a protector character, but he can turn his enemy's strengths into his own, and as well packing a punch. He's armed with big health and damage stats for each of his abilities. He also has an awaken ability that can be tapped into, and as well, what he's going to specialize in specifically is crippling teams that rely on passives that have charges, positive effects, even revives as well. His passive is a howitzer. After all the other characters on spawn effects have been activated, he copies, he clears, and as well, including revive and charges, and as well, this cannot be resisted. So it's a bypass kind of mechanic. His charge mechanic truly flexes the might of the gods. While charge, ARES can't be stunned, and non-mythic characters, so characters that other than APOC, Super Skrull, Mephisto, and so forth, they can't gain charges or immunity. And on top of that, he's going to be gaining speed bar on turn while he's charged. So really quick run through here of the kid. As you can see, a base stat speed here 118. He's gonna be a villain global mystic protector. I like that, because does that mean he's gonna have some dark dimension viability? That's gonna definitely be interesting for sure. But what's more notable, guys, is I want to point this out, right? In war, he's gonna be applying trauma, but more specifically, his ultimate's kind of the big one that, you know, it's an unavoidable attack, applying ability block, flipping 3 negatives. And as well, being able to have huge damage and crowd controlling aspects. I like the fact that there's drain. That's why I do see that there is going to be potentially, you know, Dark Dimension Valley, to be honest. But this is the big one here for his passive as well, following that ultimate, is that he's actually going to prevent characters here, right here, at the start of any match when he has his passive awaken ability. Enemy characters cannot spawn with Safeguard, and he also gains Safeguard for 2 full turns. So his special and ultimate hit like a truck, crowd controlling aspects, and as well his passive really, you know, causing a lot of havoc here to those big meta teams that have the Safeguard, which is absolutely unbelievable, guys. Now, it wasn't documented here in this blog post with the shout out to the Annihilators team, but I do want to point out the reworks here, guys. So I thought for sure this would be actually alluded to here. Sorry, let me just scroll to that. Now, the next team being Annihilators. I thought they would actually list them out here, but let me just point it out, because we've seen some of this from the previous blog post, as well as the other envoys already sending out this information. So both Ultimus and as well as Silver Surfer being the rework characters are going to be part of this team. And then we've already seen in the Splash R teaser, it's going to be Thanos Endgame. We got Gladiator. And then last but not least, we also have Gore, the God Butcher. So those 5 characters are going to be part of the new Annihilators team coming. We don't know which meta they're part of yet in terms of the game mode. So for instance, are they part of Crucible, War? We don't know just yet. They could very well even be a Mystic Raid team for all we know. And then lastly, again, ARES is going to be that plug and play character. He has no allegiances. He's going to be just slotted in everywhere. Definitely exciting times, guys. So let me know what you think in comments below. Definitely some welcome news after everything that's happened in the last week or so with the pay to win, pay to play wall that they've kind of situated. But now some exciting content to be had, and I'm very, you know, this is always the best part of the game, is when we're seeing these new characters and teams coming and how they reshape the meta. So do let me know what you think in comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.